Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Under the Radar video. It's about my guy, Jeremy Lin. So if you guys are new here, hit that red subscribe button if this is not your first video you've seen of mine, and hit that note bell. And today is one of the best days I've seen. Jeremy Lin is coming back to the NBA. He's on the process of coming back, but let me give you a small little rewind story. Jeremy Lin is a 6'3" guard from Palo Alto, California. Man was beasting in high school. He had averages at least 16 points per game. He has California State honors, and nobody was recruiting him that was actually relevant in college. No UC Irvine, no UC schools, no UCLA, no USC, no private California Division 1 colleges for specifically athletics. So he had to go with Harvard. Now, Harvard is not known as an athletic school. They're known as for their academics and their courses there. And honestly, Harvard's a pretty good college. I mean, I don't see it as much of a basketball college, but I think that's the best option that I can see for him. And I'm glad that he actually took it. He became one of the best players in Harvard after he was able to succeed in defeating Mater Dei single handedly. But sadly, still not much attention. I mean, how can you defeat such a titan in the basketball community, mostly in high school, but still not get a single college to look at you? No UC Irvine, no California Division 1 college actually wanted Jeremy Lin. And I find that really sad. I mean, if you took down Mater Dei single-handedly in high school, you are something special, my guy. I mean, a lot of Mater Dei people are NBA hopefuls. So after his season with Harvard averaging 17 points per game was over, after him being declared into the 2010 NBA draft, he went undrafted. But the Warriors got him, and then he went from team to team until he found his way in New York. And New York was the best thing that ever happened to him in his career. Not only he became the infamous Linsanity because of how insane that he was playing in his 25-point stretch with the New York Knicks. Now, the New York Knicks during this time wasn't very good. I mean, yes, they had Carmelo Anthony, but he had no help whatsoever. Yes, he had Amare, but Amare was trying to branch himself out as away from a traditional center. And he was just literally finding his ground in the league. So Jeremy Lin had an impressive run in Linsanity. It's not because of an injury that really just placed him out of New York. It's really because of the choice of Carmelo Anthony. And not saying it might be his fault, but that's just my little theory. Since Carmelo Anthony is known as the top dog for the Knicks for the past, or basically most of his career, knowing that Jeremy Lin might become the next franchise player, and the fact that a lot of people like him in the team, it doesn't look very good on Carmelo's record. So sadly, as soon as Carmelo left, Mike D'Antoni gave Jeremy Lin lesser and lesser and lesser minutes. And after that, Jeremy Lin went to the G League to play for the Reno Bighorns, the G League affiliate currently of the Sacramento Kings, who are now called the Stockton Kings. Now, he was in Reno Bighorns with my guy, Danny Green. Even though Danny Green was actually a decent player, this was before like Danny Green had the good hair and then he was a sharpshooter. Yeah, they were basically a dynamic duo in the G League. After that, since he wanted to still go around the NBA, but unfortunately couldn't find any offers, Jeremy Lin decided to go to China for the very first time. He did decently in China. I mean, he did alright, enough for him to come back to the NBA next season, but he was just jumping from team to team. You have the Rockets, the Lakers, you have the Hawks, the Nets, the Hornets. And I honestly felt bad for this guy. I mean, just because that he was Asian, people literally counted him out. Since Asians, we all know, I mean, I, as an Asian American myself, we're known to be people that are academically excellent, not athletically excellent. And Jeremy Lin during that time was just different. I mean, what? This guy's academically excellent and he's athletically excellent? How? I mean, that's pretty rare to see. So Jeremy just went around the NBA, and one of his last decent stints were with the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, this was his last decent role that he actually kind of played. Because, yes, the next year, the next season, when he won the NBA championship with the Toronto Raptors, he was literally playing 2 minutes or less. Might as well literally bring him down so much to the point where he should play for the Raptors 905. Because, man, I don't like seeing Jeremy Lin sit on the bench, my guy. I mean, it's not like they needed Fred Van Vliet and Kyle Lowry to play 50 minutes just to play point guard. I mean, they have so much ways. I mean, Toronto, in my opinion, has one of the best player development programs. They have Chris Boucher, Pascal Siakam, and so much more people coming, and probably more coming soon. I mean, I've never seen so much G League people from the Raptors literally succeed, and that's just impressive. So Jeremy Lin had to decide. Okay, since no team decided to offer me any contract, might as well go to where I'm happy. And that's in Beijing, China, of the Chinese Basketball Association, playing for the Beijing Ducks. Now, his teammate is actually Hamilton, who is known as a NBA veteran. And playing for the Beijing Ducks is quite a nice club to be in. I mean, if you're literally behind the legendary career of Stephon Marbury, I mean, if you guys don't know, Stephon Marbury was literally collecting rings in China like it was, MJ in Beijing. So with Bulls consistency. So I honestly think this was a good decision for Jeremy. I mean, he had to pick himself back up. I mean, I know that people weren't offering him any jobs since the most demanding position in today's league is definitely just point guards, like athletically gifted point guards. Jeremy is just a really talented guard. He isn't super athletic, but he can give you at least 15 per game. Like, if I had the draft, I'd always draft him. I'd make him one of my priorities to be drafted. Because I honestly think that this guy is so underrated, man. So underrated. I mean, on his run with Beijing, I watched the whole season in the CBA. Because, I mean, who watches the CBA? Not everybody, but Ari. Yeah, so I watched the Beijing Ducks season collapse. As a Liaoning Flying Leopard fan, I was very satisfied that we were able to get in the finals, but we choked to Guangdong and Yiqianlian. But unfortunately, in that process, we had the playoff series in the semifinals against the Beijing Ducks and Jeremy Lin. Unfortunately, and luckily, we won. So Jeremy now is back in the NBA G League, and I've reviewed the game live. He did pretty darn well, and I honestly think that he could come back. I mean, if he has the grip and grime, if he works hard, and never messes up the opportunity, I honestly think that Jeremy Lin will be back in the league in no time. I mean, the first quarter stretch for the Santa Cruz Warriors was an amazing stretch. I mean, they led the game as much as 10 points in the first quarter. But it was just their big men swagging off. I mean, Tao Payne was the only big man doing his job. I mean, he let Ashley, he let Amir Johnson, and a lot of NBA vets take over. I mean, in the Ignite team, basically Kaminga and Knicks were going to work. I mean, yes, Jalen Green ended the game with 11 points, but his shooting numbers was terrible and he had 3 turnovers. But that was a good showing from Jeremy. I mean, he was everywhere, man. He was passing it to the big man, he was hyping up the big man. He was getting buckets, he was getting dimes, he was passing it to his teammates. It was just amazing. I think that the Warriors still have to work on their interior defense. Because right now, that's an area of an improvement that they could probably use and utilize. Since Ignite was lucky enough to have NBA vets by their side, so they could be able to stay within striking distance with Donta Hall and Amir Johnson. So if you guys love today's video, and if you ladies and gentlemen love today's video, I heard that you have a superpower. If you hit that thumbs up, it can go from gray to blue. And I heard that, oh, a little birdie told me that we're very close to 100 subscribers. So hit that red button, hit that bell button, and see everybody on next week. Bye bye.